Hi there! In this video, we will discuss the summary of the 15th chapter of El Filibusterismo, or The Reign of Greed, written by Dr. José Rizal, titled Señor Pasta. We will also study the important events, characters, settings, and lessons found in this chapter. Listen and watch carefully, as you will learn a lot from this historical work by Rizal. Let's begin. Isagani visited Señor Pasta, one of the smartest lawyers in Manila. Señor Pasta was often consulted by priests about their problems, so he had a lot of influence. After waiting for a long time because of the many clients in Señor Pasta's office, Isagani was finally let in. However, Señor Pasta did not immediately pay attention to him and continued writing. Once Señor Pasta finished, they began to talk. Isagani explained that the students were seeking Señor Pasta's support regarding their petition for the teaching of the Spanish language. He clarified that they simply wanted guidance in case Don Custodio consulted Señor Pasta about the matter. Even though Señor Pasta listened to Isagani, he showed no interest in getting involved. Instead, he tried to confuse Isagani by talking in circles about laws, rules, and decrees. Señor Pasta implied that it was risky for someone like him to meddle because he had many personal interests to protect. He claimed to love the country, but said there were limits to how much he could involve himself. Isagani argued that governments should listen to their people since citizens know their needs better than anyone. But despite his reasoning, Señor Pasta remained firm. He insisted that the government should be left alone to do its job without interference from outsiders. In the end, Señor Pasta advised Isagani to stay out of public issues. He suggested that Isagani focus on personal success instead, recommending that he marry a wealthy religious woman, practice medicine, and avoid involving himself in national matters. After their conversation, Isagani left feeling disappointed by the lawyer's views. Alone in his office, Señor Pasta reflected on his younger days when he had once wanted to serve his country. But he realized that such ideals were impractical and chose instead to prioritize his personal gain. Señor Pasta ultimately held on to the idea that every country has its own rules and standards, and not all ideals can be turned into reality. Now, let's move on to the important events in this chapter. Isagani visited Señor Pasta, a well-connected lawyer often consulted by priests, to seek his guidance on the students' petition for teaching the Spanish language. Despite listening to Isagani, Señor Pasta showed no interest in helping and deflected by discussing laws and decrees, emphasizing the risks of meddling due to his personal interests. Isagani argued that governments should listen to their citizens, but Señor Pasta maintained that the government should act without interference, and advised Isagani to focus on personal success. Señor Pasta suggested that Isagani avoid public issues and instead marry a wealthy religious woman, practice medicine, and prioritize his own prosperity. After Isagani left disappointed, Señor Pasta reflected on his youthful idealism, acknowledging he had once wanted to serve his country but ultimately chose practicality and personal gain over pursuing lofty ideals. Important characters. Isagani. He is the student leading the petition to teach Spanish. He went to Señor Pasta to ask for support for their cause. Señor Pasta. He is a well-known lawyer in Manila who is often consulted by priests. He is intelligent but avoids public issues to protect his personal interests. Let us now proceed to the setting of this chapter. The events of this chapter take place in Señor Pasta's office in Manila. Here are some of the lessons, messages, or implications shown in this chapter. Señor Pasta demonstrated that despite his intelligence and influence, he chose not to get involved in public issues because he feared it would hurt his personal interests. His avoidance reflects a lack of concern for others and for the country, which does not help society progress. Isagani, on the other hand, remained firm in his belief and goal of fighting for the students and the nation's welfare, despite the discouragement from Señor Pasta. This shows the importance of standing up for what is right and having the courage to fight for it. By the end of the chapter, Señor Pasta realized that while he had achieved personal success, he regretted not helping the country when he was younger. The lesson here is that life should not only focus on personal gain, but also on serving others and contributing to the nation. And that concludes the 15th chapter of El Filibusterismo, Señor Pasta. What have you learned from this chapter? Share your answers in the comments. We also encourage you to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. Until next time, thank you for watching.